So hello everybody and welcome to your magic month of March. Thank you to those of you who are listening live. I'm actually traveling at the moment. I'm in Lombok, and so this was set up very last minute when I thought that I might have a strong enough internet to run it. Forgive me if it cuts out. I am in Indonesia. And because of that, this magic month might be a bit shorter than normal because I don't know how long the internet will last, but hopefully it will. And hello to everybody that's made it live and everybody that is going to be listening to the replays. Lovely to be connecting with you all. I'd be really grateful to those of you listening live if you could say hello, let me know that you can hear and see and that the technology is working okay, using the chat box to let me know. And also for those of you that know Magic Month, you will know that I really love this show to be co-creative. So please use the chat box at any time to share your comments, to ask questions, to share your own insights and guidances. I'm just going to make, can you hear and see? And just type that in to make sure that people can hear and see. No, okay. Let me try. Log back in. Hello. 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 So, can you hear and see now? Can you hear and see now? Sorry, false start, guys. You have to forgive me, I am making Magic Month from Lombok. The Indonesian internet isn't quite as strong as the UK internet, so we're just having a little bit of a startup. So thank you to everybody. I've seen that Sienna is saying yes. So hello everybody and welcome to your Magic Month of March. I am really excited to have been able to do this. I'm really excited that some of you have managed to make it live. I'd be really grateful to those of you listening live if you could let me know that you can hear or see. Okay, some people still can't. Just use the chat box and let me know. Some of you seem to be able to, some of you can't. I can't see the video, it's just a frozen image, but I can hear you clearly. Able to hear you, the picture. Okay, so I'll try turning my camera off, and some people can see, and okay, so okay, I'm going to carry on. If the picture freezes, then listen to this as a radio show. This is going to be a shorter magic month anyway. I am making it from Lombok, and the internet is really, really not as good as the UK. And so I hope it holds out, and I hope that you are able to enjoy the show. I was really excited to be able to make this show because March is a really exciting energy. So I was manifesting that there would be enough internet, and it looks like there is just about enough. It is lovely to see some of you that I know listening live, and to be connecting with you. For those of you that don't know Magic Month is an energy forecast show that gives you an overview of the month ahead. It gives you all sorts of insights into how to make your month as magical as possible and go with the flows of what is going in the sky and the earth and energetically within yourself. And March is a really, really exciting month energetically. You can you and Carmen are listening together. That's so nice. I'll say hello to both of you. If you're listening live, I really love Magic Month to be a co-creative show. So please do use the chat box to say hello, to ask questions, to share your own insights and guidance, and to make this show a creative, interactive, beautiful soul family circle. If you are listening in the future and you have questions and stuff come up from this webinar, then I have an exciting new group that I've been guided to set up on Facebook, which I'm doing loads of like vlogs and little extras and energy transmissions. And if you do have questions or things that you want to check in about at any point during the month, then that group's the place to go. I really recommend joining. It's got a really nice vibe. It's completely free, and it's got loads of little lovely extras throughout the month. So I've put that up for you now if you're not already on it. And yeah, you can share on there about this show if you're listening to the replay. Hello from Indonesia. It's very, very different climate here from the white colours of England at the moment, covered in the snow. Which I actually think is a really, really important thing. What's happened to England is really significant energetically. So we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to do the forecast. But I would like us to begin with a longer meditation than we normally start with, just because there's all these new energies. I don't know how any of you are feeling, but like March just feels totally different energetically to me. The energy is so new, it's different. The way I'm doing things is really different. Please do share if you're also feeling that at the moment. And when there's lots of new energies around, it is really so crucial to ground so that they don't fry you or wire you or make you manic, and so that you can integrate all of the codes and energies that are coming in. And so we're going to do a slightly longer grounding meditation to begin with. So I'm going to turn the camera off, and when you're ready, closing your eyes, feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, feeling a column of light from the center of the universe, pouring down into your energy field instantly, raising your vibration. I'm really taking this moment as this source light comes in, just to allow all parts of you to connect to the source light. It isn't new, it isn't different. allowing the parts of you that are maybe feeling a bit vulnerable with all of the new energies just to recognize the source light, to feel at home. And with that sense of recognition, feel yourself calming down, becoming more present. And as you feel this column of light pouring through you into the heart of Mother Gaia and bouncing off the heart of Mother Gaia, back up through you into the heart of Source. Really notice the alignment that you are in this moment. Alignment is so important this month. And connect to your belly, to your womb. If you're a woman, your belly, your sacral chakra. If you are a man or a priestie. And really, from that place of warmth, from that place of the belly, feel your grounding cord traveling down into the bottom of your aura, which is always in the earth, and out of the bottom of your aura into the soils of the earth, really feeling yourself connecting to the earth and choosing at this layer of the earth to surrender into belonging to the community of the earth that includes all of the plants and all of the animals and all of the elements and all of the beautiful people. Really feeling that sense of community with all of life. Community that is holding you in this time of ascension and transition. And as you surrender into the community aspect of the earth and the healing that she holds for you, feel your grounding cord going down into the stone layers and now beneath the roots of the trees and the soils and all of the different colored muds. And in these stone layers, surrender in to the wisdom of your ancestors. Really feeling yourself surrendering into the wisdom of your ancient ancestors, into their medicines, into their knowledge, into their peacefulness and their celebration. Feeling the music of your ancestors playing in your bones. As you go down, your grounding cord goes down into the ancient waters. That flow underneath the surfaces of the earth. And feel yourself surrendering into flow, into being in flow, being in process, into the movements of your self and your path. As this grounding cord goes down into the crystal layers, and you surrender into becoming crystalline, to the parts of you that are becoming crystalline, surrendering into all of the magic and light upon earth. As your grounding cord goes down into the fiery molten layers, into the lava, the rebirth blood energy of the mother. You feel your blood becoming warmer, and you surrender into all of your passions and longings, dharma and dreams. And your grounding cord goes down to the iron core. You feel the iron in your blood vibrating with the iron at the core of the earth as you feel Gaia massaging your heart through this vibration in your blood, massaging the inside of your heart so that your heart chakra opens, so that your heart comes into greater alignment, and down you go into the diamond Merkaba light center, the heart of Mother Earth, of Mother Gaia. And here you receive all the love and comfort and magnetism that you need. Really feeling your wholeness being called to you now. Upon the magnetic pulses of love that run through your body from the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And as you call all of your energy into this moment, you feel a golden and rainbow rain shower of light washing your aura. Feel your aura being sealed with white light. Feel your heart beating with the heartbeat of the earth. She holds you in these new fields of energy that are being created on earth at this time. And you feel your heart beating with the heartbeat of Source. Heart beating with the heartbeat of your path. And your heart beating with all the hearts of everybody listening to this webinar now and in the future. Really opening your heart to them as they open their heart to you, so that you are flooded with love from your tribe. And just allow yourself to arrive, knowing that this is exactly where you are meant to be. Choosing to gift yourself this webinar. To breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. And when you are ready, open your eyes and come back into the room. Noticing how you feel, noticing how it feels to ground. And I would love to hear from any of you listening live about how that first meditation was. I am definitely finding grounding is really essential at the moment to check in with my alignment, which I'll be talking about a bit later in this forecast. But it would be great to hear how that meditation was for you. I really felt all of you, my beautiful tribe. So I'm just going to check that you can still. Okay. And so we are going to do the forecast now. And March is a really, really exciting, magical month. Firstly, we're really into the new cycle now. That if you're regulars to Magic Month, you will know that we spent the whole of 2017 and the beginning of 2018 moving into this cycle. And now we are really finally into this new cycle. And that's why the energy is so new. Thank you, Carmen. I'm glad you're feeling peaceful after that. And that's why the energy is so new. And I actually think the snow is really significant. The snow that England and a lot of places are happening, especially England, because it's the heart chakra. Yeah, it's really like representative of a clean slate, of a new start. And in fact, the amazing Claire Russell, who's a friend of mine and light worker and teacher, she did this wonderful post about manifesting off this blank slate in front of her, and really that feels so significant to what March is about. It's like, okay, you've done this big move into this new energy, and now you've got this new energy to play with, and it's like a blank canvas upon which to start manifesting new lives, new worlds, new dreams. And so there's that real freshness to the energy, which is really exciting. It can feel a little bit overwhelming and vulnerable. And I'm going to be sharing kind of little bits of channel guidance stuff about what to do about that, and how we can kind of work with this blank slate energy. It's like new, it's new. It's like starting a new term at school, in the school of ascension on earth. It's like starting a whole new subject, starting new. And that's really the overall theme of the month, so represented by the snow in the UK, which is really, really beautiful. I'll just answer Elsa's thing. So found it hard to connect with love, but was in a cave with a beautiful horse face and a fiery light. That's interesting, because fire and water are also really big themes of this month, as is learning to love ourselves. I mean, that ultimately ascension is learning to love yourself so fearlessly and so courageously, and kind of the deeper I go with my own self-healing and my own path, the more I understand that the kind of greatest courage there is to love yourself so much you come into sovereignty, you know, so much that you become your potential. And it's really, really hard, because we've really been we have so much consciousness that and past memories and things that make it hard. So never give yourself a hard time for finding it hard. Just know that every time you attempt to receive love, you get closer to understanding what it is to be beloved. March's energy also has, whilst it has this like new fresh start, this new cycle energy, it also is very much a completion month. So it's a completion month in the sense that it's begun with a full moon. As you know, there's the big super moon, and then there's a blue moon in March as well. So on the very end of the month, we have a second full moon on the 31st, and those two full moons are really like time to wrap things up, time to complete things up. So if there's anything that you felt like you were working on, particularly the last year, or indeed the last 7 or 8 years, it's a really, really good time to invite those healings to complete, to invite those things to complete. March in general is very much a month that is about balance. It's about harmony. We have the equinox, which is always about balance because night and day become equal. And because it's the third month, it represents mind, body, and spirit in numerology. So it's very much about the triangle of life. It is the month in the Northern Hemisphere where spring begins through that triangle of life. And so it's really got this kind of intention every year for harmony and for balance. That is even more important this year because the two moons are the two full moons are Virgo and Libra, and they're both big. They're both big energies astrologically for balance and for harmony. So the theme is really about coming into harmony, coming into balance, and harmonizing with these new energies, not going too much into the drama of vulnerability, but allowing ourselves to retune, allowing ourselves to be retuned and realigned. And my guidance on that is that it is absolutely essential to be doing some kind of sound work this month. So whether it is sound baths, whether it is chanting at home, whether it is kirtan, whether it's just rocking out to music. Gaia gave me a really beautiful message once about kirtan, and she said it of kirtan, but it's true of all music-based work and sound-based work, is that you get retuned. You get retuned when you allow sound to move through your body, your mind, and your soul as a healing practice. And because this month is all about being retuned and reharmonized to the new energies, absolutely sound work as a daily practice or even a weekly practice or whatever you can do, depending on where you are and what's available to you. Like I said, sticking your favorite, if it was me, I'd be sticking Johnny Cash on and just dancing around. Like, whatever you can do to let music speak to you is really so essential for this month, because the energy is light and it's jumpy and it hasn't fully integrated into the earth. It's very on the surface at the moment. We need to attune to it, otherwise we can feel a bit scattered and overwhelmed. Just read what Bonnie's saying. So you took me back to Boynton Canyon. I've never heard of that canyon. Most peaceful place I know on earth. Back to the ancient times when I lived there among the old ones. Oh, how amazing. Yeah, if you can get to anything ancestral music-y as well, it's really a time for connecting with our ancient ways so that we can harness the new age into the ancient, if that makes sense. And I'll talk a bit more about that as well in a minute. But the month is really split. It's a real, my guidance is that it's a real half and half month, partly because it's got two different full moons. First part of the month has got this real water energy running through it, especially a purification energy. My guides say that we're being overlighted by the energy of water in the first part of this month. And so it's a really, really important time to be working with water. I'm going to give you some tips and advice and things on that. It means that the first part of a month is going to be a little bit emotional. Whenever water's overlighting, there's always quite a lot of emotion. And actually, according to my guide, she's been overlighting us for most of the winter. So if you think back through your winter, you can probably relate to the fact that it's being a fairly emotional winter. And how the water's working with us this month, and it's connected especially to the equinox. So from the 10th up until the 20th, which is when the equinox is this year, those 10 days leading up to the equinox, it is really about purification. It's a really, really good time to give up bad habits, to give up meat, to try and purify the body. Remember that triangle of the mind, body, and soul. It's a really, really good time to purify. That's what Mother Water is working with us energetically, to help us purify, to help us actually come into that intention of this month about the clean slate and the clear palate. So you want to drink loads of water. You want to bless your house with water. It's really easy to bless your house with water. You can just buy rose water, or you can get normal water and just clear the water by asking the violet flame or the angels to clear the water, holding your hands over the water and then filling the water up with love, sending love energy from your heart through your hands into the water, filling the water up with love, choosing to bless it with your own source light, your own love energy, and then sprinkle it all over your house. It's also a really, really good time to spring clean. Spring cleaning emotionally, spring cleaning physically, getting rid of your stuff. One of the things that's really happening in these new energies of March is suddenly, like, a lot of people, and I'm definitely feeling it, is things suddenly don't fit. Things that were fitting you before, not my clothes still fit me, but I mean personality traits that I've actually always been comfortable with or happy with suddenly don't feel quite right. It's like we suddenly become round and we're still trying to get into square holes, you know. And so it's really about observing what is not fitting, especially with the second full moon. It's partly relationships, so there might be some relationships that are leaving your life, or relationship patterns and habits that are leaving your life. But unlike the deep kind of healing we were doing in the first 2 months and at the end of and throughout the winter, this is a much more fluid. It's like a flushing out. You know, everything that's ready to go is just going to start flushing out, and that's what you want to work with. Like guys are saying, expect to get cold, because your body actually, it happens with the equinox anyway. That your body starts to flush out towards the equinox anyway. It's a flushing out time, and with water overlighting us, it's going to be a really mega flushing out time, and in a really beautiful flowing way. Like I said, I think my instinct is that it's going to be emotional but flowful. It's not going to be like working on the deep, dark, heavy shadows. It's more like just finding it easy to pull everything out of your wardrobe or your emotional closets or your personality closet and just get rid of stuff. The impulse to get rid of stuff is quite strong, because we're all collectively trying to get to that blank slate. You know, that's what this month is for. It's getting to the blank slate. One of the exercises that my guides gave me today for that is a forgiveness exercise that you can do every single day. And they gave it to me today, and it was during a healing I was doing on myself. And they said to call light deep inside of you, to call source light deep inside of you, or if you prefer to work with water, to work with water flowing through you. And in fact, right now they're saying to me that the water is an even more powerful way to do it. And say out loud, whatever I have done, in whatever time, plane, or dimension, I forgive myself now. Whatever I have done in whatever time, place, or dimension, I forgive myself now. And you can repeat it a few times. And for me, I was doing an alchemy healing on myself, so I was pretty emotional anyway, but it just opened up the floodgates. And I really felt like, as I was saying this mantra, loads of myself was reconnecting and feeling welcomed, sometimes for the first time in maybe thousands of years. And it was a really, just like water is, it was such a flowing healing. It was such a surrendered healing. You know, I don't even need to know what I've done. I don't need to go into the story of it. I'm just saying that I've forgiven myself now. And it really cleared out so much of my cellular memory, so much of my habitual memory. It's a really, really powerful healing. And they've said that if you want a daily purification practice to do this month, either from now or from the 10th, that's the best one to do, because it's so short and it's so gentle, and it's so so simple. And purification is an act of cleansing that needs to be simple. Yes, I will repeat it. It is whatever I have done in whatever time, plane, or dimension, I forgive myself now. And like, even speaking it, I start to get emotional. The water starts to work with me, because a lot of what holds us back from being in our power. I'll just write it out for you. I forgive myself now. A lot of what is holding us back is, especially from our empowerment and our worthiness, what is holding us in separation consciousness isn't anything to do with this lifetime, it's to do with other lifetimes. And I can really vouch for this, because as someone that didn't believe in past lives a few years ago, and having been guided by my guides to work with Atlantis so much in ceremony and in portals and doing dimensional journeys to Atlantis, and having seen the shifts that happen in people when they release something from that one specific lifetime in Atlantis, which was a huge age. It is amazing to see the shifts that happen. It's like sometimes you're just not fully present with yourself. You're not whole, because you've promised yourself in another lifetime that you're never going to forgive yourself, or you're never going to let yourself be in your power again. And it's really time to start working our healing multi-dimensionally, multi-time, timely, multi-planely, because we are ascending into being multi-dimensional beings. And that's the other important thing this month, that's really important to share, actually, is the moons are really, those two moons that are showing completion are really showing the completion of the Chiron asteroid cycle, which is complete. So in April, we'll talk about it on Next Magic Month a lot more, but on April 17th, the Wounded Healer asteroid, the asteroid that represents the wounded healer, which really brings up our core wounds, is completing a cycle through Pisces, and moving in to Aries. And so for the last cycle, the wounded healer, which is all of us, is mankind, you know, our core wound in Pisces has been about separation. And the more work I've done with Atlantis, or the more channeling I've done with Atlantis, that separation consciousness happened at the fall of Atlantis. It happened then. All of that unworthiness, all those problems, they happen then. Like, whenever I do the shadow work and the timeline work, so much of it goes back to that. And so that's what's completing, is that separation consciousness that we have carried throughout the Piscean age. Like, it's coming into completion, and it's being purified by these amazing water energies that are just moving through us at this time. And so you might notice lots of patterns and things coming up, but they're moving through, they're releasing out, they're completing. And so it's really, really important to start kind of noticing what core wounds are coming to completion, what you know, the story of the wounded healer is that he couldn't get healed. He had to become mortal in order to die because he couldn't heal the wound. And so our mortality, it's the wounds that we're here to heal, the wounds of our lifetime that this particular asteroid works on. And they're the big ones. So notice what of the big patterns of your life are flashing out, are coming up, are coming to completion. And yeah, that's really important. I know it sounds crazy, the Atlantis stuff, but like it is so important to work on it. Thanks, Elsa, for the question. Are you saying that Atlantis separation has affected everyone globally, no matter the tribal culture? Yes. Yes is what I would say, because I'll tell you how my guides have explained it to me. I'd say tribal people maybe not so much, because they're holding the feminine consciousness and then they're in so much more connection to the earth. But then they're still holding a lot of separation consciousness from the colonials, so to speak. You know, it split humanity. And I think that how my guides have explained it to me is, you know, that thing of the 144,000 light workers that a lot of people have channeled about. And I was always like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, it's really hard for me to relate to this, because I believe everybody's a light worker. How can there only be 144,000? And what they said is our spiritual DNA, which is known to be 12 strands. In every strand, there is actually sorry, I need to remember the maths of this. In every strand, there is 12,000 strands of DNA, and all your past lives and all different dimensions. And so the main 12 have 12,000 in that add up when they reconnect and you come into your full multidimensionality. It comes to 144,000. So the light workers are actually your own strands of DNA. And every human story that we have across all of our races and nations, we hold in our DNA, and our DNA is going through an upgrade. And, you know, we have to transcend the stories of our past as a human collective. And one of the biggest stories is the Atlantis story. And what my guides actually have explained about it is that, you know, if you look at the way humans react to Atlantis, it's not like a fairy story that they just don't believe in. It's like a post-traumatic stress disorder reaction. Like they fiercely don't believe in it because it was so traumatic. And it's where a lot of separation consciousness and unworthiness consciousness came from. And if you listen to the last 2 magic months, you know we've had a lot of Atlantis clearing and healing happening at this time. And it's going to keep happening. And the reason it's going to keep happening is because ascension happens on a spiral. And so we were already in 5D and higher D consciousness at the time of Atlantis, and we all chose to go on this collective journey and to fall down the spiral into separation consciousness. And it's actually down the spiral like that, if that makes sense, because we went from oneness into masculine and feminine, into separation. And now we're going back to it. And that's that triangle of life I was talking about. You need all three. It's just we went into the deep wound of separation because it creates loads of growth. That sense of moving from oneness, separating and coming back is how the universe creates. And so it was totally creational and amazing to do. But in order for us to get back up the spiral, we have to go through and clear the wounds and the stories of the past. It's like in order for us to get to the Aquarian age, we have to go back up through Atlantis and heal the wounds from that time and transcend them. And so Atlantis is really, really key at the moment, according to my guides. And it's amazing to work with. Like, there's so many good things from it as well. There's so much wisdom coming through, and as we reconnect to it, as we reconnect to the golden age of Atlantis, we're birthing the golden age of Aquarius. It's just sometimes in that reconnection we also have to face the unworthiness and the woundedness and all of the trauma that happened from losing that, and transcend it. It's really amazing stuff. In fact, this feels like it's naturally come on to. So for anybody that really wants to visit Atlantis, and I mean it, if you want to visit Atlantis, we have a journey to Ibiza coming up, which is a real... Oh, it's not letting me. Maybe I'll... Sorry. Yeah. So in May, Starlight does... We have a 5-year light worker project to Ibiza, and it's just, out of all of the Starlight journeys, Ibiza holds my heart. It's like just so magical. And Tanit, who is the guardian goddess of Ibiza, is also the guardian of the gateway to Atlantis. And a lot of that light, earth, soul, crazy fifth dimensional portal, multi-dimensional channeling ceremonies that we do there go to Atlantis. And this one's really exciting because we're not even going to the golden age, we're going to the dawn, to these amazing pyramids of creation and dreaming with the elements and doing all of these beautiful, amazing ceremonies. Like even channeling about it, I was just like feeling my energy body whipping round. And it's a journey into worthiness and sovereignty with your path. And oh, it's so beautiful. And I know some of you listening are coming, but there's six places left. And if you are called, you will know, like your whole being is just going to be like, I have to be there. And I'm so excited because we're doing 9 days and we've got a sweat lodge and we're going to be hiring out a boat. And the last 2 years we've worked with dolphins doing light work in the sea. And it's just, yeah, it's so hard to put into words, but it will change your life and connect you to your truth like nothing else. And it's so healing and transformational and beautiful. And so put the link up in case any of you listening are the light warriors called to that. And this one's actually called Atlantis Rising. So it's really, really focused on rising up into the Aquarian high priestesshoods and priesthoods and priesthoods by returning to those lifetimes, literally in what my guides say, walking in the footsteps of those lifetimes. So that is in May, but I think we should focus on March for now. What have we got next? So I've done clearing clutter and this really beautiful water purification thing. And like I said, I would really try and invite purification into your mind and body and soul. So maybe give up something for your body, maybe give up something for your mind, and give up something for your soul. And I can't wait for you and Carmen to cover you, Elsa. I'm really excited. And so Yeah, give up something for your mind, your body and soul, especially in those 10 days leading up to the equinox. Really invite clean slates in. My guides are saying make them simple, you know, stuff you've already been working on, stuff that you feel like you've done quite a lot of work. So, you know, don't try and give up everything. Simple, 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 baby steps. It's maiden energy. It's meant to be joyful. It's meant to be easy and effortless, and work with those energies. What we've got happening throughout March. Oh, last thing. At the end of this webinar, I will do a water meditation to help you come into that water overlighting thing and connect to the waters moving through you and get insights into that trilogy that March always gives us. Now, something that happened last March, and it's happening again this March, and some of you might be feeling it, is because all of this new energy came in last March and it's coming in this March, it's that, like I said, that maiden energy. And it's a real upgrade month. It's a real launch month. We're out of the winter and everything's beginning to start and everything's beginning to speed up. And one thing that happens is you really feel like you're swinging. That's the best way to describe it. So you feel like you're feeling really good and really aligned and really happy and really in flow. And then the old patterns come up and you feel like you've swung back into who you were. And March had that last year, and it's got it again this year, is that swing thing where you're swinging between who you're gonna be and who you have been. And if you notice yourself swinging, there's a few things to do. The first thing is, my guides have said, if you're swinging and you're feeling like you're swinging, you know, even throughout the day, like flitting in between who you were and who you're going to be, feeling really good and then feeling really low, you need to ground. You also are swinging because you're not surrendering into feeling good. So that was part of the reason I did the grounding meditation, so focused on surrender. We're very used, or certainly if you're a Starlight regular, you'll be very used to doing lots of surrendering into the shadow and the pain and the transformation and the healing. But it's important to surrender into the bliss moments, into the moments that you're feeling really good. It's important to ground into them and anchor into them. And if you're swinging a lot, it's very likely a sign that you're not surrendering into the bliss moments enough. You're not allowing them to land. You're not allowing them to arrive, and that's why you're swinging back into who you are. So every time you notice yourself feeling good, every time you're really high off the energies and you're dancing around the room, or you've had a nice attuning kirtan, really make sure you consciously surrender. You consciously start to anchor into this new state. Also, if you're finding yourself swinging a lot, it's basically because you're not aligned. So you want to come into alignment. You want to set that intention every morning. The best way to align, or the best way I find to align, is that iron blood massage from Gaia. Let her align from the inside of your heart. Let her vibrate. Gaia will align you. There's also a chakra that is, it's on your feet. It's your path chakra. It's on your feet. And if you're sitting cross-legged, you're sitting in it like a giant singing bowl. And that is the only chakra we have that is only in a one-way flow. Only energy enters. And so that no energy leaves from it. And that's where Mother Gaia aligns you. And so if things feel out of flow, or if you feel like you're swinging, connect to that chakra, or connect to the iron blood vibration. Connect to the mother and just say, okay, I align. I choose to align. Engage your free will. One of the things about blank slate energy is it's really scattered unless you engage your free will. So engage your free will. Choose to align. If you're feeling really out of sorts, be like, higher self, bring me back into alignment. Like, consciously align, and that swinging will stop. And actually, when you align, the energy is really bright and light and full of clarity. Another way to align is to really give yourself peaceful time, to choose to relax, whether it's 15 seconds or 5 minutes. It's really good to relax, because when you relax, everything realigns itself in your body, in your mind, and in your soul. And alignment is really important, because when we align, we receive. And this month, which is a new beginning, a fresh start, at the start of this new cycle, of all of these new energies, the start of the completion, therefore the start of the new wounded healer cycle. When you align, you get to tune into it. You get to start tuning in to your manifestations. You get to start tuning into your manifestations and your new dreams, and they're not the same as the dreams you set in the past. The path that you want will have shifted. It will be in a new alignment. It will be in a new frequency. And you need to have that time to listen to it. You need to have that time to receive it. You need to have that time to connect to who you are in this moment, and to connect to what you want to paint on that blank slate for yourself. And so that's why alignment and harmonizing and attuning is so important this month. I'll just answer some of these questions. So where exactly foot, Gaia, please? So it's a chakra that is on the bottom of your feet. It's on the soles of your feet. And you walk on it, it's also like in your aura in the earth, but on the surface of the earth. So your feet always touch it. And how I visualize it is it's like a singing bowl. So if you're sitting cross-legged, you're sitting inside the singing bowl of this chakra that is Gaia's alignment chakra for you. And it's how she aligns you with your path, how she aligns you with your destiny, how you receive from her. It's a very, very receptive chakra. And I'll answer these other questions. So it was clearing ashes from the fireplace. When you were talking about Atlantis, feel I've got a lot of anger and forgiveness with that lifetime. It's more than one, Heidi. So Atlantis was a huge age. We all had many lifetimes during it. And yes, there is a lot of anger, and the fall of Atlantis was really hard. It was really hard, and it's purging at the moment out of our consciousness. And so there's a lot about this time that feels like that's the fall repeating on us, because we're moving back up through the cycle, if that makes sense. But it's really amazing when you start working with it and when you start healing it. Bonnie, I'm not really a morning person. There's not a lot I get up to do at 6:30. Thanks so much, all of you, to keep us bettering ourselves. Is it 6:30? I have no idea. My time is like 10:30 at night here. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about this month. So I'm going to move on. But basically, you're purifying. If you're swinging, you are feeling out of shape, just constantly come into alignment. Breathe out loads. Breathe out. It's about purging and blowing out and releasing and purifying. Breathe out so you can breathe in, so you can intend emotionally and also physically. And also dream. It's all that white energy, all that new energy is bursting to co-create with you. It's a really good time to be focusing on the big dreams, to be dreaming the big new world for yourself and your life. Journal, because there's all this new energy about, and like it's a real flashes of inspiration time. So it's really good to just, even if like you do like a couple of sentences before you fall asleep, just like, oh, I had this idea for myself today, or must remember, you know, had this flash of inspiration about my path and myself. Journaling is really powerful to do this month. The new moon on the 17th is in Pisces, so it's really amazing for manifesting the big dreams. It's all about, you know, the ultimate dream. And if you've done your purification process with the water, you should be really kind of feeling clear and bright and aligned and like you've received, and really invite your dreams and your manifestations to be bigger and brighter that night. Remember, it's the year of the dog, so it's all about abundance and commitment and grounding in and loyalty. It's a really powerful night to do a commitment offering to your path, to make a commitment to what you really care about and want to bring into your life. So you can do a commitment ceremony that night. And it's the first kind of big manifestation day of the new cycle. So make sure you do at least do a visualization then. And come into the birth. One thing my guides have asked is, if you are going to manifest, they have said, please, please, please manifest for the seas to heal. And I cannot express to you this winter, the messages I've had about the sea have almost been desperate, and I've never heard guides be desperate before, but there's this real thing about the sea being in crisis at the moment. And so make sure you do some prayers and offerings for the sea that night, because sea healing is needed now. And that's all I can express to you, is that that's what my guides and so many different guides keep saying to me, is there's an urgency with that. And actually, when you do personal manifestations and then do prayer manifestations, you magnify your personal. They're rushed forward because you've put collective stuff on your list. The whole thing gets quicker. So it's good for you to also manifest for the big picture and yourself. Then we have the equinox, and the equinox is going to feel like a real shift. Again, the equinox is a really amazing time to be in ceremony, to be harmonizing, to be manifesting. But it's also, we stop being overlighted by water and start being overlighted by fire. And so you're really going to notice a shift in how you're healing, and things are going to feel much more transformational. There's going to be a lot more, things are going to feel faster. It's a bit more about shadow work. The second half of the month is going to feel quite much deeper. And it's really good to kind of honor that shift of the overlighting elements. What is really exciting from a shadow perspective is the 2 retrogrades this month. So first, on the 22nd, just after our equinox on the 20th, we have Mercury going retrograde. And Mercury is the planet of communication and technology and travel. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's really about going inwards and doing the internal work. And so, you know, from this big flowing purification, releasing outwards, we're suddenly in fire, being asked to turn everything inwards and look at our communication. What also happens in March is Jupiter on the 8th of March goes retrograde, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion and our paths and luck and abundance and shining our light. And when this planet goes retrograde, it asks us to really look at our philosophies, our belief systems, our foundations, to actually go into those wounded healer core wounds and really clear them out. You know, it really is whatever area you need to grow and expand in, it's the best time to go inwards and look at it. And really, it means that whatever you work on in Jupiter retrograde, you know, when it stops being retrograde, is really going to expand and flourish. So it's kind of like the crouch down before you leap up. And one thing that's amazing about these two retrogrades, to me anyway, is that Jupiter goes retrograde on March 8th. Mercury stations retrograde on March 22nd. My God, out of all the dates in the month, the 8th and the 22nd are always feminine dates. They're goddess dates. My guides always want goddess channeling on the 22nd. They always want feminine stuff on the 8th. They're feminine numbers. As well as it going stationing retrograde on the 22nd, Mercury begins its pre-shadow phase on the 8th. So both of them start on the 8th of March. The 8th of March is International Women's Day. And my guides have spoken so much about this year being about receptivity, coming into the feminine with our paths, with our money, reconnecting to our paths and our manifestations and ourselves, doing the deep feminine wound work. It's a really, really feminine side healing year, especially in the way that we connect to the earth, our community, our paths. And for both these planets, in the first retrograde, which are about communication and expansion and basically about our paths and our destinies, to go retrograde on International Women's Day, it is really a time to look at those feminine wound consciousness, those philosophies of the old Piscean age that are not serving us anymore, those philosophies of poverty consciousness that are not serving us anymore. Like, it is so significant of everything that my guides have been saying about this year. So that's a really important day, especially if you're a woman, to be doing. In fact, on the Facebook group that I put up originally, and I'll put up again, I really strongly recommend womb work. And I'll do a womb transmission or something on that day. But the second half of the month is about really going inward, clearing out those old wounds from your timeline consciousness, those old philosophies from your timeline consciousness. And both these retrogrades and this fire energy and this full moon energy at the end of the month are really going to be taking you deep into what needs to be healed, into that healing completion of the wounded healer, just in time for Easter, which is, so my guides always make me do abundance stuff around Easter, and I asked them about it, and they said Easter's when your abundance consciousness gets retuned. That they said it last year, and they explained it to me in more detail, which I don't have time to go into now, but like, it's a death and rebirth festival. It's also the festival of the spring. It's the festival where the spring is about what is under the earth beginning to come out onto the surface. And it's just the time that consciously we retune our abundance. And so it's really good, especially with the Jupiter retrograde, to be looking at all of your poverty consciousness and blocks that are not serving you around your abundance, bringing your abundance back to the wisdom of the feminine, the wisdom of our ancestors, the tribal ways, the community ways, the wisdom of nature. And for me, like, this, when I found all of this out, I was like, this is so amazing because my guides always time everything starlight in the right. It just blows my mind. I can't believe that our abundance alchemy course is our abundance alchemy course is happening, which is all about coming into feminine abundance during Easter, during the Jupiter retrograde and the Mercury retrograde, during all of that shift into the Winded Healer's new cycle, all of that. And I'm just like, you did well, guys. So for those of you that like online learning and want to do deep work with their relationship with their paths, money, time, love, nature, and the feminine way, this course is just beautiful. And it's tuning into it here and on my travels, where I've been taken to all sorts of temples of abundance and nature. It has changed me so much already and taught me so much about what it truly is to receive and be in worthiness. And I'm so excited about it. And there's nothing as good as a live course. And there's a special Magic Month offer for you there. But if the course doesn't call you, then I still recommend you use this time to work on your relationship with worthiness, on your relationship with receptivity, especially post the equinox, on your relationship with your path and the earth, and what's in the way of you manifesting that big dream. Because if you think of that big dream, whatever it is, it's going to be overflowing and thriving and in alignment with nature and all of those wonderful, abundant things. And all of that unworthiness, separation, insecure, wounded healer stuff from the fall of Atlantis and just in our Piscean reality has to start being cleared. And one of the ways into all of that consciousness is through looking at abundance, especially when Jupiter is in retrograde. Jupiter in retrograde is like not happy-go-lucky. It's like, look at your deep philosophies, look at the philosophies and blocks and walls that are in the way of your path. Look at the family history you're carrying. It's go in and look at what stops you being expanded and shining your light and thriving. And that's what it's about. And especially with Mercury retrograde on top of it, which is all about the lies you're telling yourself and the flow you're not in. It's about really working with those energies. But because March's energy still has that clean slate, bouncy, balancy thing, it's actually a fairly gentle time to do that kind of shadow work, because the energy is so flowing and light and maideny, and the fire is such a quick transformation energy. So fire ceremonies are really good to do around the equinox and afterwards. Writing in your journal and or writing down what you want to release and burning it, really working with the elements directly this month is really, really powerful. At all times through the month, make sure you come into alignment. Make sure you keep aligning and sounding all the way through, because you're retuning yourself with every breakthrough and every healing that you do. So I think that's the energy forecast for the month. It's quite epic. Mainly, and also dreaming. Make sure that you dream daily. Like, make sure you ask. One of the things I'm really learning on this trip is the more you ask, the more things flow. It's this new cycle is much more about us being empowered and really honoring and respecting and ceremonially respecting our free will. So if you want something, you need to ask and really let yourself do some daydreaming, do some intending. Remember how important intention is, because intention directs the flow and so and diverts the flow and aligns the flow. And so really all of this purification and transformation and of the fire and the water is about flow. It's about, you know, cleansing the intentions and realigning with what is actually present and pure and the greatest possible intention you can have now, and cleansing all of that other stuff from them and purifying it. And so that is the forecast for the month. Please let me know if you have questions. I'm going to pull the card of the month now, and then we'll do our water whispering. Integrity. That's our card of the month. That is what alignment is. Integrity just means wholeness. The root word of integrity is wholeness, is being honest and being whole. And that's what we want to do. We want to get those paint strokes on that clean slate of energy in integrity, in commitment, in we don't want the colors to be muddy. We want everything to be bright and clear and in integrity with who we are now, not who we were. So I really think that's the most amazing, to have your intention for your new path cycle in integrity is the most amazing statement for this month. And literally, as I said that, I just felt all the energies of this month kind of celebrate. And remember, it's celebratory. Remember, it's fun. Remember, you're meant to be surrendering into the bliss and the joy and the heavenliness of all of these new energies as well. Let me know if you have questions, guys, and then we'll start this water cleansing to go. I will put up our new group again. So, in case you want to join the free Facebook group, I want to thank you all for listening live. It's really special to be connecting with people in other countries in the world. And yeah, nobody seems to have any connection, but love and hugs to you, Sienna. And yeah, we're going to use a water whispering meditation to really connect to these water energies. So when you're ready, closing your eyes, feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Opening your heart to the water that cycles through the earth, to the rivers and the waterfalls and the ocean, and the evaporation and the snow and the ice and the rain, and really feeling those cycles of water that happen through the air, through the soils, through your own body, and through your timelines, feeling Mother Water overlighting you now, purifying you, helping you to flow with the rhythms of these new vibrations and fields that are upon Gaia now. And as you align with the waters of yourself, of the earth, and of spirit, open your heart to your water guide or to Mother Love. You may feel emotion coming, and if it's coming, just know it's a purification. Open your heart to that purification, to that washing away. And as you open your heart to these water cycles. Trust that they will whisper to you what you need to know. As you ask, what do I need to purify from my body to come into greater integrity? And just see what answer comes to you. And know that you can begin to purify that thing from your body, whether it is a food or an emotion. From the 10th of March. What do I need to now ask, what do I need to purify from my thoughts to come into greater integrity? Just see what word comes to you, or feeling, or thought pattern, or belief. And what do I need to purify from my soul to come into greater integrity? And soul stuff usually comes as a surge of emotional feeling through the body. Maybe it comes as a word like Atlantis or a past life or something. Just notice. Now you can listen to any insights that the water is whispering to you about how you can personally do this. Whether it is a fast or a new mantra, simply just being. Sometimes being peaceful, letting go of trying is the best way to purify. And as you listen to what Mother Water wants to tell you, invite her into what is needing to be purified in your body. Jupiter can often bring up addiction, so it might be an addiction. Jupiter retrograde can really bring that up. What needs to be purified in your mind and in your soul. And really invite the water into those. Invite her to start moving them. Start cleansing you from the inside to the outside, so that you can come into greater harmony with this snow energy with this blank, clear heart chakra of the earth, covered in white energy. Invite your heart to become clear, become cleansed by the water. Invite welcome from your empowerment, from your joy, all of that cleansing and purification energy just to come to you now, to become clear by the 10th of March. And purified by the 17th, so that you can really just be in the flow of your own manifestations in your dream state by the moon, so that you can expand and rise up into more of who you are going to be. And as you feel the water's cleansing you, open your heart to Gaia aligning you with this purification journey. And open your heart to all the celebration energy. One of the things that happened as I was tuning in to what it means to receive on the abundance course is the plants told me that holding celebration. When they hold the energy of celebration, they bring the rain. Celebration energy will shower you in blessings. So hold the energy of celebration. Celebration of the new. Celebration of the blessing. Celebration of the changes. So that you can be showered in blessings for your path and your life. I'm breathing in love. I'm breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Sending your love and gratitude to the earth, to Mother Gaia, to the waters, to Mother Water. Sending your love and gratitude to the sea, the corals. Sending your love and gratitude to all the planets and asteroids and stars, to all of spirit, to your spirit guides, to your soul family, to all of life, to magical, magnificent March, to every one aspect of yourself, to who you were, to who you will be, and to who you are, divinely perfect in this moment. Into Source, because what you send out, you get back, opening yourself up to receiving love and gratitude back. So much love. That one made me cry. Really feeling the oceans at the moment. So much love and light and blessings to you all. I hope to see you on the Life Alchemy and Vibrational Manifesting group. And thank you all to those of you listening live. And in the future, me and Kat love you all, and we'll see you next month. Mwah! Happy, magical, amazing March to you all.